Okay. Today,
Episode 10.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about
Double digits.
Oh my God. Yeah. Vegas and our trip to Vegas. Last time we kind of talked about the buying part, like the business side. Now we're going to talk about the fun part.
Yeah.
And if you've ever taken a trip with your girlfriends, you know how fun it can be. And
It's like a little sleepover every night.
I was going to say, yeah. Actually, a friend of mine was saying how her daughter said, you could hang out with your friends. And she said, yeah, think about it. You could have sleepovers with your friends. It's just a mommy sleepover. I'm like,
Yes.
it's amazing.
I know. We should be doing that more so, like, just at home.
I
Not just
know.
on
That's what we were
trips.
saying.
We
We're
need
like,
to have sleepovers more
right?
often.
Nothing's better than a sleepover.
It's always like the late night, like, chats and stuff
Yes.
that are always the best.
I know. And I don't know if
Yeah.
it's because you just get like delusional by that point.
Right.
But they're hilarious.
Right.
But, okay. So last time we went to Vegas, I had never been.
Yeah, I hadn't either. And it was Tracy's first time traveling with us, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
Vegas. I was like, absolutely.
No, but it was like our first trip together, the three of us. So that
Yes.
was really fun because I feel like we just really got to know Tracy a lot better on that trip. She was actually like our Vegas guru because she's been several times. So we basically just followed her around everywhere the entire time.
Yeah.
I was lost the whole time.
We-
She could have walked to like, I don't even know where, a parking garage for me to be killed, and I would have followed her because I was so lost.
Well, we
the whole
kind of
time. It
did.
was all circles.
Remember, we were like underground at that like
Yes.
bus station, and then we were somehow to tram up above.
Yes.
She like knew all of the things. She basically was Christopher Columbus there.
Yeah, she was. She was.
And I mean, the girl can show you around, and we were dying because we walked so far on the first night.
So far.
I was not under the impression we'd be like going on a tour of Vegas.
Lauren called it the Tour de France.
I was like, I literally at one point I stopped and I said, oh my God, you guys, we're on the Tour de France and I need to go get different shoes. I'm wearing
in her
stiletto
exact words,
heels.
she said her feet were raw dogs.
They were
She
raw dogs.
Really, she went and bought flip flops.
And mind you, I wear a size 7 shoe. They only had these Havana flip-flops in a size 11. So I was clanking through Vegas, carrying my stilettos because I was in so much pain.
And she could have kept going for
she could
hours.
have kept going. And mind you, it's like, I was going to say 8 as if it was like so late, but
Yeah.
it was like 9, 8. We had this was like our first day. We had a time change.
But that's like midnight our time.
Midnight our time.
Yeah.
And we had not eaten dinner yet.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so finally, Elizabeth and I are like, we got to call it.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do this. Like, I'm dying. So we say to Tracy, I think that we should just go back to the room, get room service, call it a night, and I'll know what type of footwear to wear next time.
Yes.
And I'll be packing differently this year, let me tell you.
Okay, so on that note, backing up, Lauren's suitcase was 65 pounds
It always
on the
is.
way to Vegas for 3 days.
I just went to Florida and it was 65
65
pounds. I swear to God, though, it's that that hard shell big ass suitcase I have.
I have one of those too.
It's got to be 45
Never,
itself.
never that much.
Well, I'm going to try to pull up a picture because I have a picture of how Elizabeth packed for Vegas. And if
I'm not an
you-
overpacker. I like.
Okay, it's
I'm
not
just
about being an
not.
overpacker. She
I don't even bring the essentials.
hold on, I'm gonna get there. She just threw shit in her bag and zipped it up. Not like there were no sections, there was no rhyme or reason.
I don't do sections. I just
She
like
threw
do
it all on one
piles.
side and she zipped it up.
I just like have my way of. I just like. I don't know. I've literally never been like a packing cube person.
I don't have
anything.
packing cubes, but like I have some order to my bag.
I have order. It's my own order.
We'll be posting a picture. There is 0 order to her bag. And she claims this is exactly it. She's like, no, I'm fine. I've always packed like this. I'll be fine. I don't know how your bag is 65 pounds. Chip, chirp, 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 chirp.
I use all of her
We,
shit.
yeah, we get there the first day. I pull out a mirror. She's like, what are you doing with a mirror here? I'm like,
She had a full-on makeup mirror. I used it the whole time, but
she was making fun of me, dogging on me. And then she said, I'm like, well, there's 3 of us in one bathroom. Like, we're going to have to get ready. First day, she's like, where's that mirror? Can I use that mirror?
That in itself probably weighed 10 pounds.
But I cracked the mirror because
yeah.
I didn't pack it right because I was so afraid they were going to make fun of me that I put it in the last minute. Not the way you pack a mirror. I'll be packing one again.
We did definitely use it like
Then,
the whole weekend. Though.
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
day 1, she's in the shower. I hear her yelling for me. I'm like, what? She's like, hey, I forgot a razor. Can I use yours? I'm like,
Okay, no.
Oh my
I
God.
had a razor. I just didn't bring it into the shower with me, and yours was just right there. So I was like, I'm just going to use your razor. I hope you don't mind. I wasn't shaving my lady parts or anything.
I said, if you dare touch your hoochie coochie with that, you will be dead to me.
Yeah, that'd be
You can have
pretty
a
gross.
swipe on your calf, but
Yeah.
like touch your hooch with that and ugh,
Yeah,
I'll throw
yeah,
up.
that's pretty nasty.
So anyway, so she used the razor. Next day, she's looking for a charger. Next day, she's looking for makeup, lipstick, a purse. I mean, this is my point. I'm like, it's 65
But like
pounds
all
I
of
have
those
everything.
things I could live without. Like I could live without that mirror.
Well, I could live without it, but why would I when we needed? Like, I felt like we needed it.
Yeah, I mean, we used it.
And speaking of makeup, if you could have seen our room with 3 girls in it getting ready really fast, the first day we like ran out to market and we came back.
Oh my gosh!
And the
The
housekeeping
sweet maids, yeah,
brought in a full blown table and laid out all of our makeup.
and they organized them like items together. I was like, oh my god, that was so sweet.
It was so sweet, but then we were like, but whose is who?
I know, that's true.
And then it was kind of annoying because we were like, you
Yeah.
mixed all our makeup, which was fine. And
They were trying to help us out.
Yeah, it was really cute. And we did say keep the table in here. That was kind of
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So yeah, that was the first part with our makeup, and
Yeah.
just the room in general was. I felt like certain sections were kept clean.
I feel like it wasn't that bad. I mean,
No, I
there
was
were
kinda
some
proud of
times
us.
where we were like running out the door,
Yeah.
and we left it kind of like ridiculous. But for the most part, I feel like we did a pretty good job
Yeah.
of like not being complete pigsty the whole time.
No, I agree. And then when speaking of housekeeping, we walked out the first day, and I was like looking at the housekeeping like cart, and all
Yeah.
I could think about was that it said like there was like this whole like medical kit on the side.
Oh yeah.
So then I was like, oh my god, how many people?
we dug deep into
Do you think-
Vegas scandals.
Oh, I would. That's all I was. At one point, Elizabeth was like, "Can you focus on what we're here for?" Because I was knee deep in how many people die in their hotel rooms in Vegas, how many people overdose, how many people commit suicide because they go there as like a last ditch effort.
Yeah, and didn't we find out that like there's a bunch of suicides that happen in Vegas because a lot of people go at the last minute. So like the housekeeping and the hotel staff are like trained to relocate the body into like
Quickly.
a designated area quickly, because if they don't, then the room has to be quarantined for a certain amount of time, so they
for
lose
2
that
weeks,
money.
so they lose the revenue. And they are in cahoots apparently with the ambulance companies,
Yep.
not to pronounce somebody dead until they're in the ambulance or at the hospital.
Yeah.
They don't really like to pronounce anybody dead at the hospital or at the
hotel 'cause it
hotel
makes them look
because
bad.
then it makes them look bad, and then they have to shut down that room.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you never hear apparently is like reporters talking about scandals or different things at Vegas hotels, because I was reading this article that said like it was some reporter and she was saying, I mean, that's just a no-no. If you want to get blacklisted from anything,
Right,
you know not
right.
to talk about them.
You don't mess with the powerful people that own hotels in Las Vegas.
Right. So I was like knee deep in that most of the time, annoying everyone with facts.
It
I
was
mean,
interesting though.
so interesting. I can't get over it, and like how they like watch you the whole time, and there's like
Yeah.
rooms, and like like people are going in and being like, I'm gonna win. I'm like, they're controlling it. The house is
It is
controlling
so
it.
real though what they say about like time not being a thing there though. Like
It's
I
insane.
get so sleepy, especially after like days of market. But when you're walking around those casinos and there's no
Time
clocks,
is nothing.
everything looks the same. There's no windows. Like it really does keep you up.
We
You just
got-
kind of get lost in it.
You
all.
do. We got to like the first night, and we were like, we got back to our room and looked at the time. We were like, what in
Yeah.
the world? If I was home, I would
It was
never
like
stay up
4
this late.
a.m. our time.
Something ridiculous where I would
And
have
I
never stayed up.
never, yeah, I could never.
No, my
ever.
husband swears that they pump oxygen into the air.
I know, remember
but
we
we couldn't
researched
find anything
that.
on that.
Yeah.
But he's adamant about it.
Yeah,
But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the no
It is
clocks,
crazy
the lights,
though how like
getcha.
that it really does like make you stay up.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure.
And everything looks the same. Like no
I
matter where
mean,
you
this is the
walk.
best part. We'd be in a different casino, and Tracy would be like, "What do you think about this?" And we're like, "Aren't we at our hotel?" Like,
Yeah.
they look the same. And one night, Elizabeth's shoe broke, and she had to come meet us. And we'll tell that full story in a minute. But she had to come meet us, and I called
I
her
was
and said,
so lost.
"I'm like, where
so
are you?"
lost.
She goes, "Oh, just right next to a slot machine."
I mean, I'm like,
you're in
I don't
Vegas.
know
What
how
do
to
you
describe.
mean?
Like everything looks the same. I'm walking through a casino. I have no freaking idea where the hell I am.
So, yeah. And another thing these casinos do, to my defense, is the last day we're like, let's just gamble a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
We
Lauren.
had like not that much time left before we get into the airport, which lesson learned, we need to gamble before.
And we
not-
had a couple cocktails
Yeah.
while we were waiting
So-
to get our stuff.
we go to the ATM and I take out $20, in which I got charged $10 to take out.
I think it might have been 11 or 12.
I was like, am I delusional? So the running joke the whole time was like, is someone just going to take out 20 and pay 10 for it? Like,
She's like, oh yeah, I got a 20, and then she got like $8 out. And we were like, what the hell? What was the point?
I don't
in
know.
That?
That was really bad.
But Tracy did end up winning some cash at the very last minute, which was pretty
Tracy
fun.
well, that's what we were just about to say, is that we need to start gambling from the beginning because we learned something about Tracy on this trip.
We need Tracy to start gambling in the beginning.
She has a math brain. She understood how to play the games. We were playing this, what was that, red or black roulette?
It was roulette, yeah.
Yeah, we were playing roulette, and Elizabeth and I are like, black sounds great, red sounds great.
I was like,
and she's like, no. Statistically, the red came up, blah, blah, blah. And we were like,
we were lost.
Oh my God, I didn't realize there was like strategy to this game. So
she nailed it.
She nailed it, and it was great. And right before that, though, we got in trouble in the casino.
Yeah, why we get in trouble?
Because we were trying to figure out a game to play before we played roulette. And we FaceTimed Peter, and we were like, what game should we play? And somebody came up to us right away and said, you need to turn that camera right away from here. You
literally out of the darkness.
Oh, I mean,
popped up so fast.
Us, and we were like, okay.
I honestly had no idea you weren't allowed to FaceTime.
Me neither. But I mean, I guess I see the reason. But so we got shut down. So we sit down at this table. And we're like, okay, we want to play. And the lady's like, oh, this is $500 minimum table.
Lauren has $8.
Yeah, she's like, you guys might want to go down by the elevators. I'm like, oh, okay. So we get up, walk down.
We looked so ridiculous.
We looked so stupid. But anyways, that part was really fun because we learned a lot.
That was fun. So we went in a day early because we were going so far. Market didn't start until Monday. So we went in a day early. So like all day Sunday, we got to just hang out, which was really fun.
Because we usually don't travel that far for a time change. Like we were like, I feel like we're going to need a little
And usually it's like so in and out and it's like all work other than like going out to dinner one night.
Right. But Vegas is just so much further that it's hard to do a 48-hour trip.
Yeah. I had made us spa appointments. I like told the girls I was going to treat them to a massage this Sunday morning. We got down there and I booked it for the wrong flipping weekend, which is just so typical of me.
Yeah.
Like I really thought I nailed it. I was like, I didn't do anything dumb this trip.
Anything for you. And she's like, can you pull up your booking and tell me the date? And Elizabeth proudly says the date.
Like,
she's like, oh, that's next week, honey.
I was so annoyed. But it gave us more time at the pool. We hung out by the pool.
We did. That was when I was really trying to be like fetch and wear that headscarf. And I looked ridiculous.
You look like J-Lo. You looked hot.
I remember I said to Elizabeth, oh, let's take a picture of me really quick. And she's like, and then I was like, do you want me to take a picture of you? She's like, no, I just know you're feeling yourself and want a picture. I'm like,
you were.
I kind of was. But then after I saw the picture, I took it off my head because I was like,
no,
oh,
it was so
my God.
Cute.
And I ended
was
up
so
putting it around my ponytail. But, you know, was trying to be trendy. And I guess it didn't happen.
So after the pool day, we went and got tattoos and piercings, which that was a really funny experience too. I mean, it was really fun. But we realized after we left that whole experience, Lauren and I both got our ears pierced. And we realized after we left that like the girl that pierced our ears, we definitely were like her first piercings ever.
And let me mind you, I got mine done first because they were both getting a tattoo and I'm a scaredy cat. And I was like, I'm just going to get my third hole pierced. You guys get your tattoos and I'll get my ears pierced. So we go back. This girl is yapping hard. And I like to yap, but she's going on and on and on about how she lives in Vegas and she's with somebody new every night. I mean, I heard her whole life story.
She was interesting.
It was just very nice. Don't get me wrong, but she was pure entertainment. And they had gotten their tattoos. And
I got two tattoos and Tracy got a tattoo. And we went back to check on Lauren because it was in a different room and she hadn't even pierced her ears
Elizabeth's
yet.
like, how's it going? How are your ears? I'm like, oh, we haven't started yet.
I was starting to worry about her.
So then the girl, I mean, it took forever. She did the ears.
Yeah.
And then we come to think about it. I'm like, I think that I was the first person she's ever pierced.
Yeah, and then remember we like went to her Instagram and like she didn't have any piercing like photos on her like page or anything. Like I think we were definitely the first ones.
She claims that would have hurt worse than a tattoo and that if I could do that, I could do the tattoo, but I was just too scared.
Oh, the piercings hurt so much worse than the tattoo.
I know, but the tattoo is just so permanent. Like a ear piercing, if I wanted to take it out eventually, like toodaloo.
Yeah.
A tattoo I can just like rip off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just seems so permanent to me. And this is what I said when I was there. I was like, I put on at least 6 shirts a morning. You think that I'm going to get a tattoo that is never going to change on my body? I'm like, I can't even decide on a shirt to wear in the morning.
Yeah, you got your piercings, though. You weren't that much of a chicken. At least you got piercings.
No, I'm down with a piercing, but I mean, a tattoo I did have her draw out this full tattoo.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
It was real cute. It was like on the side of my chest, and then I was like, who do I think
I'm glad you didn't do it, though, because
am?
I feel like you were too unsure.
No,
like,
I agree.
In the moment, I was like, I feel like she's being impulsive, and I'm glad you didn't do it in the moment, because you haven't ever like really wanted to get it again.
No. I mean, here and there, I've said like, oh, it'd be cool, whatever, but I've never like really wanted to.
Yeah. So then after we got our tattoos and piercings. We ended up like shopping around and going out to dinner. And Tracy and I both had these like saran wrapped like things around our arms,
They
which looked
like
very
heroin addicts or something. I'm like, ew, I have to go out with you two.
We really did. It was like we had like we were all dressed up, all dolled up in like cocktail dresses, and then we had these like saran wrapped.
That was fun though.
hands.
We did like dress up one night, which like we never really have an excuse here to do that.
It was fun to get dressed up
liked
every
it.
night. Yeah. And just like to get ready together.
And when I say every night, like, oh, okay, we got dressed up every night to go do something. By the time we finished our dinner, we were spent. We were like, let's
so
just maybe
tired.
go back and get a drink at the hotel.
Yeah.
We weren't like out on the town till 4 a.m., but in our minds, it felt like it.
It
Because
felt
we had
like
been
it.
at market all day. We were so tired. But we really said this time we're going to do, I booked the massages this time.
Yep.
And we're
That was
going to
my
do
birthday
one fun
present.
thing
Every night.
every night.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know what yet.
Yep.
We're going to find maybe like a hidden bar speakeasy.
Thought you were going to say Blue Man Group.
And I was just about to say
A show of some sort.
a show of some sort since I got shot down last year right out of the sky.
Another thing that we were like on a mission in Vegas, we all really wanted to get like a new purse. Like we wanted to treat ourselves to like a designer purse. And we spent, oh my God, hours. Like
I loved it.
I loved it too. We went to like Vegas just has the best shopping ever. And it
but
was
it's
hard
like,
to commit
I
'cause
will
we
say-
hadn't seen everything yet.
Yeah, it's like luxury shopping.
Yeah.
So like in our mind, we were like, okay, we're going to maybe like go in for like a bag that we've been saving up for. And when I tell you there's like store upon store upon store upon store.
Oh my gosh, it was so overwhelming.
We kept walking into one and we'd be like, hey, we've been in here. And Teresa's like, that was a different one at blah, blah, blah hotel.
There were like how many like YS? I think we went into 4 different YSLs, all within like a mile radius of each other.
Right.
And again, Lauren and I never knew where the hell we were.
No, we were lost the whole time. I was like, I don't know. I didn't really care though. I was having so much fun shopping. But one night Teresa got mad at us because we were going into the Prada store and we had reservations at this like apparently really good like
Dim sum.
dim sum place, which I'm kind of sad we missed that. But
We should do that this time.
we said, cancel. We're going to Prada. And Tracy said, you guys can't be serious. And we said, cancel it all. We're going into this Prada. That was the Prada that we met our best friend.
That was the Prada, yes. Have we told that story?
I don't
on
know.
here
We're going to tell a
before?
quick version just in case
Yeah.
we've told it. But
Yeah.
we walk in and I want to set the scene. I'm in a cotton dress. Okay, nothing, just your average cotton dress.
Flip-flops from Old Navy.
Flip-flops. No, they weren't my Havanas. I did have on heels. So I
I don't
did
think
I?
we
No,
did. I
no,
seriously
actually, I
think
don't
we
think we
had
did.
flip-flops
Okay, so
on.
we had flip flops on, and we walk into this Prada store. Okay, and we're talking to this guy, and I had a vision in my mind of exactly what bag I wanted.
Yeah.
So I start talking to him. Why can't I remember his name now?
Jay.
Jay, thank you. And I say, oh, do you have this bag like maybe in the back or something? And he's like, let me look it up. So he types on his little computer. And he's like, no, closest place we have it is like overseas in Canada or something ridiculous.
Somewhere very far
And
away.
I was like, do you think I could like call around to another Prada? Like I'm sure somewhere has this bag. And then he goes, well, this is the biggest Prada in North America. So I'm like, oh my God, so embarrassed.
like literally the
Like,
most
I knew something
large,
about Prada.
legitimate store in the U.S. And
Which-
she's like over here like, are you sure you don't have it?
I know. So then I say to him, I'm like, why didn't you hit us with that at first? We're walking around here looking like we own the place. So then he started laughing and he warmed up and he's like, do you guys want to like see the upstairs and stuff? We're like,
It
sure.
was 3 floors.
3 floors.
Wasn't it? Escalators through, I mean, it
Yeah,
was
he took us like all up into
massive.
different rooms and stuff. It
Yeah.
was really freaking cool.
It was
so
cool.
just that was like worth it that we made friends with him and he started showing us like all the different
Yeah.
parts. But we were cracking up because we were like, oh my
It
God,
was
so
hilarious.
embarrassed.
It was hilarious.
It was. But yeah, that part was fun. We
you
stayed
ended up
there.
getting your Prada.
Not at that one though. That's the worst.
Yeah,
part.
not at that
Different
one.
Prada.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
that
yeah,
was like one of the highlights of the whole weekend though, like just shopping around and us all trying to like decide on a bag.
It was
and-
really fun. I
yeah.
know that sounds dumb, but like it was a fun
It
memory
was.
because we laughed the whole way through it. And
Yeah.
there was one point we were walking to stores and I said something like, oh, Alexander McQueen. And Tracy, the Book of Knowledge, said, oh, what a tragic story. And I said, what are you talking about? She knew Alexander McQueen's whole life story.
She's like, you should know this. You're in fashion.
And then I
was
said,
like, damn it.
I'm like, I went to school for human development and family sciences. I don't know that. But yeah, so that's where it started.
Tracy's Book of Knowledge.
She's hilarious, and we still use that joke all the time because I'm like, oh my God, it was just so great. She was cracking us up, and it was just a really good time. And I know it sounds like we did all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This was like a very short trip.
It was like 3 days.
But I swear something about there makes you loopy and like just.
We giggled so much.
We really did.
Yeah, I broke my shoe one night. How did that even happen? I think, okay, it was the night after we had walked like 7 miles in our heels.
Believe
and
that.
my feet hurt so bad still from the night before that when we were leaving to head to dinner, I just like grabbed my heels, the same pair that I was wearing, because I was like, I can't put these on till the last minute. Because, you know, in Vegas, like your room is like a 10-minute walk just down to the lobby. And then once we finally got down there to get in an Uber to go to dinner, I realized that I had like a strappy heel on that had like the ankle strap, and the ankle strap freaking broke off. And so like I literally couldn't walk in the heel. Like it wasn't like a thing where I could just like wear it without the strap. I like couldn't walk.
But mind you, she didn't notice this.
I didn't notice it until I got down to get in the Uber.
Let me tell you why. Because she's the most disgusting human being, and she walked through the casino shoeless.
I did.
I was like, I'm maybe gonna throw up.
And I got
She's
yelled
like,
at for
cares?
it.
Yeah, then she got yelled at for it.
Yeah,
So
on
then
my way back up, I got yelled at for not having shoes on. I'm like, trust me, I'm trying to go find a pair of shoes. I can't. I don't have a shoe that I can
And
put
at
on.
this point, we'd already called the Uber.
Yeah.
So Tracy and I get in the Uber because we were going to Nobu, and we were like, we're just you meet us there. We don't want him to give away our reservation. So Tracy and I leave, and I can like tell that Tracy was nervous about Elizabeth finding her way back. And I'm like, she'll be fine. She always is. She's resourceful. So then she comes back a while later, and I call her. She's like, I can't find it. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, where are you? This is where she says, by a slot machine. I'm like, oh my God. So then I said, drop your pin and I'll come find you, because it was like
I was so
the blind
lost,
leading
you
the
guys.
blind.
And like when I was waiting on my Uber before that, I was like standing in this like median thing, and I was okay. Also, full disclosure, I had a little edible of or a nibble of an edible, and I was like all by myself, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, like I don't know if I can find them. I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it. So right when they left me was when I was like, okay, I can do this. So I walk out into this.
Oh,
like,
and I was
median.
purely confident. I'm like, she'll be fine.
Lauren was fully confident in me.
I don't know why though, but I was in the moment.
So I got a pair of shoes. I slipped my feet into these like 4 sizes too small
No,
stilettos of
she comes
hers.
tromping into my shoes. I'm like, okay.
So I'm standing in the median, and the Uber driver is like, he calls me, and he was trying to say, look behind you. But I was looking at the cars driving up in front of me, and I couldn't register what he was saying. I couldn't hear him, and I was like, what? And he's like, look behind you. I'm like, what? And it was like, I swear it went on for 10 minutes. And then finally he's like, look behind you. And I turn around, and he's literally 2 feet behind me in his car. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I probably just look like the biggest idiot of all time. Then he takes me to meet them. And yeah, when I got out of the car, I was just like, I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to walk until I somehow like find them. I was just like walking in circles.
The hotel it was in was like a giant circle. Like
it was crazy.
Or maybe they
I felt
all are.
like
I don't even know anymore.
4
But
miles, not knowing even where I was. I didn't even know if I was going in the right direction.
she was
just
not,
walking.
by the way. But we found her.
What finally gave us a clue that I was on the right track was I walked past Lisa Vanderpump's restaurant.
Yes.
And I remember that vividly because I was like, oh, finally, like a landmark that I could tell them. And Tracy was like, keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
And I ended up making it. And that dinner was really fun.
That was
really fun.
We honestly had so much fun together.
I was a hot mess that
night. We all were. But that was quite fun. Savannah's going to join us this year, and we're like, it'll be fun. It'll just be another makeup bag in the room and another,
my gosh, yeah.
I'm sure, set of stories.
Tracy also, like, one of my favorite memories of her that trip was like Lauren and I shared a bed, and then Tracy had the other bed, and we would be like up giggling, and Tracy would be like dead asleep, and then all of a sudden she would pop up and just like contribute to the conversation.
But when we say pop up, I mean mid sentence. She'd be like, "Oh yeah, I saw that," and then 2 seconds later, you would hear her doze off, and you're like, "Wait,
we were like,
is she asleep?
How
is she awake?"
Listening,
and she did it multiple times. And in the morning, we're like, "That's a superpower." It was honestly astonishing that she could do that. I wish I could.
Oh my God.
But she was, every time she did it, we would laugh even harder.
Oh my
and
gosh,
we couldn't go to sleep because
funny.
we were like, Oh my gosh.
I know. And then like we would start to feel bad. We'd be like, okay, we need to be quiet. But she'd be like, no, keep talking. I'm here.
We did look over at one point though, and she had her AirPods in.
Yeah.
But she said I could still hear you.
Oh,
It was
that
fun.
was great.
was
What
good.
else funny happened in Vegas?
God, I don't know.
Remember our Uber driver? We got into an Uber one night and it was like this like middle-aged, very like, I mean, he looked like my dad. And all of a sudden when we got in the car, he turned off the lights and he had this like disco ball of like
Strobe
different
light,
colored
like-
lights. And he started blasting techno music.
It was wild.
It was so unexpected.
First
like,
of all, we all looked at each other. We're like,
and it was a minivan.
yes, that's what I said. I'm like, were we giving off this vibe? Like, we're in a minivan and we're like three moms here who are like coming back
It
at
was
9 p.m. and he's
great.
vibing
Yeah.
out. But it was honestly hilarious. And
yeah,
it
that
got
was
us pumped
really
up
funny.
again.
That was really funny. And then, like, once we pulled up to the hotel, he just turned on the lights, turned off the music, and we got out.
And we got out. And that was it. We're like, okie dokie. Yeah. We're staying at a different hotel this time. So we'll see. Like, it'll be cool to stay at a different hotel. However, we don't even know where we are when we're there. So
Yeah, I know.
I guess we won't.
There were so many,
Really no
like,
difference.
funny things where you're like, man, that really only happens in Vegas. Like, there was even a point in time when we were at Market, and I swear one of our vendors, the girls were like,
Kooky.
they were tripping.
We were
on
like,
something.
whoa. It was weird. It was honestly
it was
kind of
really,
yeah, it was kinda
really.
crazy.
We were like, God, what is like everybody getting into in this city?
There was also a morning that we would take turns going down to get coffees in the morning. Like
Yeah.
everybody took a day to bring it back to the room when we were getting ready. And it was a morning you got coffee and you came back up. You're like, I still saw that guy sitting there at the slot machines
Oh yeah, he was there all night.
all night. And he was there and you got coffee. And I'm like,
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah,
not getting up all night.
yeah, I know. And it wasn't that late yet when we saw him the night before.
No,
I
and
mean,
then
it
was
had
like,
been a solid 12 hours.
yeah,
for
oh,
sure.
yeah. I mean, we had
And he did not
full
look
night's
like
sleep.
his butt had gotten up out of that chair.
which
That's
just goes to
crazy.
show you like the addiction. Oh, that's
I don't know
another
how people
thing.
could. I could never live there. I feel like I
I
could
would
never
absolutely
live
never,
there.
never. But another
bad
thing,
for my
a
health.
fact that I was like reading is that
Yeah.
some people will
Pee
wear
themselves
a diaper or just pee right there. I'm like,
because they
that's-
don't want to get up and move their or like lose their hand
yes,
or whatever.
and I'm like, that is absolutely
That's some
repulsive. I'm
freaking
sorry.
commitment.
I mean, that just goes to show you have an addiction. If you can't go up and go to the
That's-
bathroom,
yes.
I mean, there's a problem. But looking like when we looked into the whole like gambling addiction stuff, it was really sad, honestly.
Yeah.
When I started thinking deeply about how quickly people can get caught into that and how like people come there as like their last ditch
Oh yeah.
effort and this and that. I'm like,
I mean,
oh,
it
it's
can
horrible.
ruin your life for sure. Yeah, there were a couple people that like we walked past a couple of times, and I'm like, oh God, that
Mhm.
doesn't look like it's a healthy relationship
I
with that
know.
slot machine.
I know. That was sad. But overall, it was a good trip. And
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm excited.
we're excited
for
to
this
do
year.
it again. And I would say
End of
to anybody out
August.
there, like, do the girls' trip.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
for
so
sure.
fun. We had a good
And
time.
share a hotel room. It makes it so much more
Yes.
fun. Those were the best moments.
Yeah, we used to not like when we first didn't really know each other. We didn't
Yeah.
just share a hotel room, but sharing a hotel room really does. That's like the best part. I know that
Yeah.
sounds stupid. Like you go to all the way to Vegas and you're like,
No.
wait, you had fun in your hotel room, but we honestly
those
did.
were like the highlights, like
Yeah.
getting ready or like getting ready for bed or just like sitting down, like recapping the day and
Uh-huh.
laughing about all the things that happened was
I,
so much
I know
fun.
that sounds crazy, but getting ready together with friends is so fun.
It was really fun. It was
and
really fun.
you felt like you were like back in like middle school going to a dance
Yeah.
together or something.
Lauren like did our makeup every night. It was fun.
Yeah, I did. I did Tracy's makeup and
Yeah.
stuff, and then we do each other's hair. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was
Loved
great.
it.
I'm excited. We'll take you guys along when we go next month. We go at the end of August.
Yeah.
Yes. And until then, we'll be like prepping for all of the buying that we're going to be doing.
Yeah,
Hopefully, lots of holiday finds and fall finds.
yeah.
I'm so excited to shop for fall. I
Mhm.
love shopping for fall.
Me too, but I
Boots and
love summer more.
sweaters
So
and-
next week we will do a Would You Rather podcast.
yes.
And
I'm gonna
so we need
enlist-
your help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Submit your Would You Rathers because this is a game we love to play in the airport. And some of them are just outrageous. So send us some good ones you have.
Yeah.
If you've come up with one and you're like, this is gold.
Yeah, we're going to
Send
put
it
up
to
a
us.
question box and you guys have to submit would you rathers and we won't look at them.
Mhm.
We will keep them
Just read 'em right as-
confidential,
yeah.
have Sav like print them off for us.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that on the next episode. That's a good idea. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.